This is your news at 5 on the Streaming Hub Radio. Good afternoon, I am Carla Morris. A record number of women have been appointed to serve in the new 21-member Senate in Jamaica. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson-Smith, who was herself appointed for a third time by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, made the observation. 4 of the 13 selected government senators are women, while 4 of the 8 appointed opposition senators are women. It is a point for acknowledgement, even as we continue to strive for more. The fact is that is the largest percentage that we have ever achieved, even as we celebrate in the other places, the lower house, the record high number of women who will also take their place today, she said, while addressing the swearing-in ceremony for senators during the sitting of the Senate at the Jamaica Conference Center in downtown Kingston. Senator Johnson-Smith also thanked all her colleagues who were a part of the last term of the Senate who did important work, noting that much more remains to be done. I welcome those who now join us and look forward to working with you in partnership across the aisle and amongst each other as colleagues all committed to serve Jamaica. In his remarks, Tom Tavares Finson, who was re-elected president of the Senate, also acknowledged the increased number of women now serving in the upper house. He thanked the members of the Senate for the confidence reposed in him for the second time, and he will endeavor to ensure that the confidence so placed is in no way misguided. 20 Cuban teachers are to arrive in Jamaica on Monday to boost the cadre of Spanish language educators for the new school year. Classes are scheduled to resume on October 5. It will bring to 86 the number of Cuban teachers in Jamaica. It's part of the Cuban Teachers Brigade. Their posting is part of the Cuban-Jamaica Bilateral Cooperation Agreement on Education. Head of the Cuban Education Brigade in Jamaica, Dr. Reynel Ezekiel, pointed out that all the teachers have complied with the protocols established by Jamaica's Ministry of Health and Wellness to control the spread of COVID-19. The group is made up of 17 teachers of Spanish, 2 of mathematics, and 1 of chemistry. Reappointed Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett will be intensifying his focus on the recovery of the sector, which has been severely impacted by the coronavirus, including providing support to various stakeholders. Speaking with reporters at the swearing-in ceremony for members of the cabinet at King's House on Sunday, Mr. Bartlett said the sector has to be reset in order to respond to the new reality created by the global pandemic. It's an enormous job that is ahead because it is a new tourism that is emerging globally. It is going to require a new understanding, indeed a re-imaging of tourism as we know it, he noted. Mr. Bartlett said that as a first order of business, he will be bringing the various players back to the table for us to start thinking through this process and to look at what's happening globally. Noting that the recovery of Jamaica's tourism industry is critical to the overall economic recovery program, he said that there has to be a new approach that is focused on safeguarding the sector while protecting lives. Over in the United States, President Donald Trump has said that a coronavirus vaccine may be available within a month, an acceleration of even his own surprisingly optimistic predictions, but added that the pandemic could go away by itself. We're very close to having a vaccine, he told a town hall question and answer session with voters in Pennsylvania. We're within weeks of getting it, you know. It could be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, he said. Only hours earlier, speaking to Fox News on Tuesday morning, Mr. Trump said a vaccine could come in 4 weeks. It could be 8 weeks. Democrats have expressed concern that Mr. Trump is putting political pressure on government health regulators and scientists to approve a rushed vaccine in time to help turn around his uphill bid for re-election against challenger Joe Biden on November 3. Experts, including top U.S. government infectious disease doctor, says vaccine approval is more likely towards the end of the year. Hurricane Sally made landfall this morning near Gulf Shores, Alabama, as a Category 2 storm, pushing a surge of ocean water onto the coast and dumping torrential rain that forecasters said would cause dangerous flooding from the Florida Panhandle to Mississippi and well inland in the days ahead. Moving at a slow 3 miles per hour, Sally finally came ashore at 4:45 a.m. with top winds of 105 miles per hour, the National Hurricane Center said. Sally's northern eyeball had raked the Gulf Coast with hurricane-force winds and rain from Pensacola Beach, Florida, westward to Dauphin Island, Alabama, 4 hours before its center finally hit land. Nearly 400,000 homes and businesses are without power, according to the utility tracker power outage, as winds and rains down power lines and flood streets and homes. In other world news, the United Nations Security Council today adopted a resolution demanding that all countries enforce a widely violated UN arms embargo on Libya and withdraw all mercenaries from the North African nation. The Council also called for political talks and a ceasefire in the war, stressing it has no military solution. The vote was 13-0, with Russia and China abstaining. In the years after 2011 uprising that toppled longtime autocrat Muammar Gaddafi, Libya has sunk further into turmoil and is now divided between two rival administrations based in the country's east and west, with an array of fighters and militias backed by various foreign powers allied with each side. The resolution's approval follows a recent report by UN experts monitoring sanctions on Libya that accuse its warring parties and their international backers, the United Arab Emirates, Russia and Jordan on one side, and Turkey and Qatar on the other, of violating the arms embargo, saying it remains totally ineffective. The resolution also extended UN's political mission in Libya until next September and stressed its central role in facilitating a Libyan-led and Libyan-owned inclusive political process and in achieving a lasting ceasefire. That was your news at 5. Join us tomorrow again at 5 for more news and information on Streaming Hub Radio. I am Carla Morris. Have you